All right, time now to take a look at the playoff portfolio with our asset manager, Bryant McFadden, the two-time Super Bowl champ, talking winners and losers here in Week 5 in the college ranks. B-Mac, let's start with the winners here. Obviously, we saw some big missteps at the back end of the top 10, but who took the right step in the proper direction here on Saturday?
Well, let's go to the row, row. That's my Bearcat sound.
Anytime we get a little sound effects from B-Mac, we're already winning.
Yeah, let's go to Cincinnati. They're my biggest winner, and here's why. Going to South Bend, taking care of Joe's favorite college team, Notre Dame. I know he feels some type of way about that. But the way they won the ball game, covered with ease, and now they might be able to do the unthinkable, right? Group of 5 teams have always been on the outside looking in when you talk about playoff caliber teams that have a legit shot in getting into the playoffs. And seeing what happened today in college football with a few upsets, Cincinnati keep their playoff hopes alive. So actually, they have a better shot getting into the playoffs right now than what they did going back to Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever the case may be, because of how well they played and some of the chaos that happened surrounding their ball club. So me personally, they're the biggest loser, because if they take care of their business, you better believe there will be a few more hiccups from other playoff caliber teams that could potentially pave the way for Cincinnati, a group of 5 team, to get in to the playoffs. They have to be the biggest winner.
Yeah, no doubt a huge win there. As you look at the road ahead, if Cincinnati does find themselves in that scenario of who's the 4th team getting into that playoff, and it's between them and a small pool of teams that, might I suggest, could include Notre Dame, you got the head-to-head win, and that is hard to argue with at that point in the season. Flip side of the coin, B-Mac, biggest loser here. Who took a step in the wrong direction and hurt their playoff hopes here on Saturday?
It's not about just hurting their playoff hopes, just the embarrassment. Lane Kiffin is the biggest loser. His team, Ole Miss, the Rebels, the popcorn clearly was not ready. I mean, if you want to go back to the initial start of this ball game, interview with Jamie on CBS, I mean, he had his mean mug face on. He was intense. He didn't even allow her to finish her questions. He just dropped the mic, better get your popcorn, and he was like, Well, his team didn't get the memo, because instead of them giving you that, they was like, that's how they played. They got embarrassed, and any playoff hopes that they had, they needed to win this ball game today. They're gone. Their quarterback, who was in the Heisman conversation, he's still in that conversation, but you're not going to just echo his name out loud right now. You may have to whisper it when you talk about legit Heisman candidates, because he didn't put forth his best effort. So me personally, just the attitude that Lane Kiffin had, I applaud. It was cute. It was hot at that time. But actually seeing what happened, and now seeing how embarrassed they was, and not to mention your playoff hopes is down the drain, and your Heisman candidate might not be in the picture anymore, that's a tough pill to swallow, Lane Kiffin. And oh, by the way, the popcorn was never ready. So me personally, they're my biggest loser.
Losses on multiple levels, most importantly, a big one on the scoreboard. B-Mac, if we're talking about other movement amongst the top 25, opportunity at the back end of that top 10, 8, 9, and 10, all losers, as did number 3. Where do you see some of the biggest movement in this week's AP poll?
Clearly 8, 9, and 10, they're on the outside looking in, right? And that's what Notre Dame and Arkansas.
Exactly.
On the outside looking in. And then, of course, Oregon, they were number 3. They will be in the top 10 still, but where do you put them? Anywhere outside of 7, in my opinion. And I wouldn't be surprised outside of 8 based on the team they lost to. Remember, Stanford lost to Kansas State earlier in the year. If I'm not mistaken, Kansas State ranks probably 12th in the Big 12. That's not a good thing. So when you factor in what we saw this week, this is how I would do it. If I was a one-man committee when it comes to ranking, Georgia would be my number 1, followed by Alabama, followed by Penn State, followed by Iowa, followed by Cincinnati, followed by Oklahoma. I would have Oklahoma behind Cincinnati. Oklahoma has been winning ball games, Joe, but they've been getting by. They just been barely getting by. And at some point in time, it may catch up to them, but they've been winning. But I would have Cincinnati in front of Oklahoma right now.
Yeah, that was the best performance we've seen out of Boomer Sooner all season long here on Saturday. The offense looked like it might have turned a corner, but still plenty to prove for Spencer Rattler and company if they want to be a part of that Final Four at season's end. He's B-Mac breaking it all down with us here on CBS Sports HQ, talking winners and losers. Thank you, B-Mac.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.